So the objective of this lesson is for the sailors to learn the basic parts of the boat and know what port and starboard mean. Students at the end of this should be able to identify the most basic parts of the boat and what port and starboard means. Students will be able to, by the end of this, to identify the most basic parts of the boat and know what port and starboard means. So our first topic will be parts of the boat. So further in the boat, there's a bunch of main parts. So I'm drawing a diagram of most of the main parts.
Are you?
So does anyone know some parts of the boat already?
Mast.
So the mast would be this thing in the center of the boat that holds up both sails. Does anyone know any other parts?
What's the rudder?
The rudder is what's at the back of the boat. It controls how you steer.
What's the boom thing?
Yeah. So like the front sort of area would be the bow.
The keel.
The keel or the centerboard. It can be referred as three things in different boats. A keel would be for a large boat that cannot capsize. A dagger board and a centerboard are for smaller versions of boat that can capsize. The difference between a dagger board and centerboard is the centerboard is physically attached into the boat, while the dagger board can be taken out of said boat.
The boom.
So a couple other basic parts of the boat would be the jib. So the jib is the small sail at the front of the boat, as well as most ropes that are connected to sails are called sheets. So you have the main sheet and the jib sheet. Then you have sails, so you have the main sail and then the jib. Then for other parts of the boat, you'd have the boom vang, which helps control the tightness of the sail to the mast, which can make the sail pivot upwards or downwards. So now on this diagram, I'm going to erase all these things but leave the arrows. And I want some of you to come up and guess them.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
I'll do 3.
Here, take this palm sheet.
No, I don't need that. Okay, I'll do 3.
Very good. Oh, you'll do 3 now.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's a professional.
Okay.
Okay, I
You
got it.
can do 3. I got it. I got
I
it.
can do 3? No,
I got
I'll
it.
do 1.
I got it. You can do 2.
No, I was gonna do this one. That's fine.
Good
Oh,
job.
there's 2 missing.
Well, your turn,
stuff.
Jonathan.
So there is, here, let me make the lines like this.
Okay.
Then someone else can go, or, yeah?
This is the jib. Where's my place?
No, that is the jib, and that would be the jib sheet, because it's what connects the jib and adjusts the position.
Is this the main sheet? And this is the bow.
Oh.
What is that?
That would be the mast, and that's already written up.
Okay.
But it's pointing to this little thing in between the mast mainsail and the boom.
With Maddie Hossack and
So, I'll just tell you.
I
So this little thing here is called the boom jack,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that.
and it's connected to the boom. The boom is connected to the mainsail, and it's basically a triangle shape, and the mainsail goes in between, like, that shape.
No phones.
Um,
I'm just taking notes.
So further parts of the boat would be the stern being the back.
Yes. Teaching.
And then you would have the tiller, which connects to the rudder and adjusts the rudder. And then on the tiller, there's an extension that allows you for better reach in the boat. So then for the second part of the lesson, there is port and starboard. What port and starboard basically mean is left and right. So if you have a boat and you're looking at it from above, you would have port being this side and starboard being this side. Basically, how you can remember this is port and left have the same amount of letters. And just know that starboard is the opposite of port, which is left, so it'd be right. So now for this activity, we're gonna do a game. So everyone stand up. And then it's gonna be sort of like Simon says, using port and starboard instead of left and right.
Fun.
Yes, everyone, look starboard.
Oh,
We
he didn't say
didn't
Simon
say
Says.
Simon Says.
Who are up?
Man, that was a fun game.
That'll be a practice round, everyone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
Okay. Because it's Simon Says. You have to
It's
back
like,
it up.
do you know
So
Simon says?
Simon, if he says Simon Says,
If I
do
say
it.
Simon says, you do it. If not, you don't do it.
Okay.
But it's a trick. There's a tricky.
Let's say I say turn port. You don't do it because I didn't say Simon says.
He says Simon Says to turn port, and then you turn port.
So move 2 steps port.
Oh.
Simon says move 3 steps starboard.
Whoa.
Then turn 180 degrees port. So Simon says turn 180 degrees
Oh.
starboard.
Oh.
Simon says do that again.
Oh.
That's tough.
You got me.
So Simon says move 2 steps forward if you can.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
All right.
That was a bad decision. Now at the end of this, I'm gonna erase all these labels, and you're all gonna have to fill them in.
Okay, I'll go first. Go ahead, man.
Sail. Should I do this tomorrow?
Maybe let someone else take a turn. Back. Oh, something may. So that would be the mast, because that's the thing in the center about holding the mainsail. Yeah. the boom or? So someone else go? You wanna go? I guess I can hold the camera while you.
Okay, so this is the main sail.
Very good.
Okay.
So this concludes my lesson. As you can see at the end of this lesson, my students were able to identify most parts of the boat without instructor help or assistance, and they were easily able to identify what port and starboard means.